Chapter 431, Bypass. 9 threads? 13. Your Gonwu Universe country hasn't had any punks make it into the top 20 for over 100 competitions. Who'd knew there'd be 2 of them this time? Haha, Emoso is right. There are 1008 universe countries here, and you've taken up 2 slots. Around him, the Undyings all laughed and made fun of the scaled armor giant. Even though Luo Feng's performance was extremely shocking to these pinnacle of strength Undyings in their own universe countries, he was still nothing but a punk. Didn't the Aogu planet siblings both make it to the top 22? The scale armored giant revealed a smile on his face. Haha, you punk, you actually know how to laugh. It's very rare. I've met him 3 times during this 100 eras. This is the first time I've seen him smile. He's proud. So, of course he'll smile. The surrounding Undyings were all chatting and laughing. There were a total of 1008 Undyings here, and the scale armored giant was naturally sitting with those he was on better terms with. These powerful Undyings, some were friends, some enemies, some with distant or close relationships. Naturally they formed their own cliques and chatted. Haha, what do you all think of this Luo Feng from my Gonwu Universe country? The scale armored giant looked at the surrounding Undying. Reaching the space flying technique 10,000 threads to the 2nd level and the Nanshan armament, capable of brandishing 9 blades, 1 dark green long hair man with a huge nose, his gaze seemingly endless like the ocean, calculated, his basics are very solid, his temperament is steady and calm, and his potential is very huge. His current strength can rank in the top 10. He can indeed make it to the top 10. Within the training space, he can definitely make it to the top 5. Even if it's the true arena duels, he should be able to make the top 10. The other Undyings nodded. Training didn't exactly reflect a person's true strength. Because this training compared to the 1v1 duel was extremely different. A spirit reader controller on a spirit weapon could distance himself and attack from far. A fighter, however, had to kill until he is within range and attack. Also, with the automaton puppets and metal life forms and other beings that weren't susceptible to spirit attacks, it made it hard for some to unleash their full strength. Just like before, the absolute genius regarded as being able to make the top 20, the hypnotist from the Hollowing God clan, Jiao Lai Shi. That hypnotist Jiao Lai Shi, during his own universe country's selection, he only had to look at his opponents and defeat them. It had been relaxed all this while. However, during the training space, against the automaton dolls etc., his hypnotism had no effect at all, and all spirit attacks were useless. Hence, hypnotist Jiao Lai Shi only ranked 189 in the training space round. Does this mean he was weak? In the plaza, over 1 million geniuses looked up at the screen of which Luo Feng was making his way into the 1st level of the 6th tower. Your Majesty, this Luo Feng is very strong. An iron-like man who was like a steel cast said softly. Beside him was the silver-armored black-haired youth. The Manka Prince had ranked 18 in this round. His eyes gleamed as they stared hard at Luo Feng on the screen, saying, I admit, I made the wrong conclusion before. From earlier, the Manka Prince had even said, from the looks of it, he can't take it anymore. He won't be able to make it past the 7th level of the 5th tower. I estimate his final rank will be around 9 or 10. Even though he's higher than me, however, the training space is different from a 1v1 match. In a 1v1 match, he definitely isn't my match. I have confidence I can defeat him. He was still filled with confidence before. However now. What a strong opponent. The Manca youth's eyes gleamed like crystals, completely locked on Luo Feng. He's training the 10,000 threads. He's already reached the level of 9 threads, a strong opponent indeed. If I want to enter the primal secret area, this Luo Feng will be a huge barrier. I will definitely defeat him. Following which he clenched his fists tight, sparks of lightning flashed. Luo Feng. With messy hair, bare feet, the wild youth savage Rong Jun stared hard at the screen, saying softly, "He's already become so terrifying. However, no one can stop me. I will definitely become the strongest. I definitely will." Covered in a black robe, a youth amongst the other geniuses stared all at the screen, saying softly, "Luo Feng? Enjoy the spotlight, just watch. Very quickly, I will let you all know that training space is just a camel beast's sheet. I will defeat all of you. Including that death god Bolin." The elite and most outstanding of geniuses were gathered here. All of them didn't submit easily, all of them had absolute confidence and pride. However, almost all that had made Luo Feng their opponent weren't easy to mess with. He can't continue anymore. He's about to fall. Even though he's strong, however, the 6th tower's difficulty is much higher by a few times compared to the 5th. Oh, he's injured. It's going to end soon. The geniuses all started discussing. During the first level of the 6th tower, the battle was already at its craziest point. Go and die all of you. Luo Feng's eyes were filled with shocking killing intent. His body was filled with blood stains, there was even a hole in his waist. He stood on the dark cloud shuttle, his movement unpredictable, producing 9 images. These 9 images weren't continuous, but they formed a circle, and within those 9 images, that was almost like Luo Feng's absolute domain. His movement were unpredictable. He was extremely nimble. Rumble, the blood-hairy mammoths engulfed the land and skies and stomped over. Their huge bodies clashing all about. These large amounts of the mammoths had their own domain. With countless domains spread out, it caused the entire battlefield to become their domain. Luo Feng couldn't dodge at all. No wonder the death god Bolin didn't even make it past the 7th tower's first level. Luo Feng thought. The difficulty jump is too much, so much higher than the 5th tower's level 7. Right. In the 7th level of the 6th tower, death god Bolin was still very relaxed. He didn't even seem to use much energy. However, the moment he entered the 7th tower level 1, even after unleashing all his strength, he still failed. And Luo Feng could feel right now where the problem was, even though his strength had increased a lot after comprehending the 9 threads. However, the first level of the 6th tower was simply too difficult. Peng. A blood-hairy mammoth's tail hit Luo Feng's body, causing his movement to be disrupted. The already mentally tired Luo Feng fought hard to dodge but got hit by the iron hooves around. Following which, it all became black and he lost consciousness. Genius battle, the final participant Luo Feng killed 6,892 blood-hair mammoths. This was comparable to the previous ranked 2 to 6, stopping at the first level of the 6th tower. Final rank, 3. Luo Feng felt the space before him turn, and after which he appeared in the plaza. The geniuses of the human race from the different universe countries all looked over. Luo Feng's gaze swept past them, swiftly determining the location of the Ganwu Universe team and heading over. Discover W Stories on no/e/lbin.com. That's Luo Feng. Final rank 3, I have never heard of him before, yet he's that strong. Within this training space process, suddenly a lot of people popped out of nowhere. However, this Luo Feng, he belongs to the strongest of those that appeared. Hearing the various discussions about, Luo Feng walked back to the Ganwu Universe team. "Madman, you really gave me a shock, you are truly vicious," the green-haired youth Windmill shouted. "Luo Feng, congrats. Congratulations." The other youths that Luo Feng wasn't exactly very close to all smiled and congratulated him. After all, 99% of these people knew they had no hope of making it into the top 1,000. "Luo Feng, Rongjun, follow me." That thick voice resounded within Luo Feng and Rongjun's ears suddenly. Luo Feng and Rongjun turned to look at an area within the plaza. The 1,008 Undyings had already stood up and flew towards their own teams, of which the scale-armored giant immediately reached the Ganwu Universe team and shouted, "All of you head back to the living quarters." Rumble. 1,008 teams of geniuses, under the leadership of the Undyings, returned to their quarters. Skyscraper 0825, Level 1. The 1,000 geniuses of the Ganwu Universe country all stood there. Under the pressure of the scale-armored giant, all of them were extremely respectful and silent. This time, our Ganwu Universe country's team's performance is very good. The scale-armored giant's voice resounded within the entire Level 1 hall. It was rare for him to actually praise them, except for Luo Feng and Rongjun making it into the top 100 and gaining direct entry into the core of the Virtual Universe Company. There are 3 others who made it into the top 7,300 and gained the right to contest for the final 900 slots, and other than these 5, everyone else. Your pinnacle genius competition ends here, the scale-armored giant said, causing the geniuses from the Ganwu Universe country to get slightly depressed. Even after fighting for so long, right now they were simply eliminated. You all can return to reality now and leave here. You can also wait a while and the Virtual Universe Company organizing team will send you automatically back to your universe country continents. The scale-armored giant said, "Luo Feng, Rongjun, you 5, follow me." Following which he took long strides towards a walkway. Luo Feng, Rongjun and the other 3 followed. The atmosphere within the large hall was depressing. It has ended. Our journey has ended. Haha, everyone, even though we've failed, we've still been offered to enter the Ganwu secret area. That's not bad too. Right. Even though I'm weaker now, I don't believe that I will still be weaker in the future. We are only star level now, the training process has just begun. There is still the universe level, domain lord and sector lord level, our journey is still far and long. Spoken well. Even if you enter the core of the Virtual Universe Company, it's still extremely hard to become undying. And our Ganwu secret area too can produce eternal undyings. Right. Let's go, we'll go drink. These young ladies and gentlemen all had the right to enter the Ganwu secret area. Except for a few that returned straight to reality, a large portion of them left towards the restaurant in the plaza. At this time, the 1,000 geniuses of the Ganwu Universe country split into 2 paths. Many of them entered the Ganwu secret area. A few entered the core of the Virtual Universe Company. How the future unfolds, no one knew.